Well, Trollomaniacs, we're talking about remakes and remasters today. And why remakes and remasters when I've covered this in the past? Because there is a company that has literally been on point when it comes to their remakes and the remasters. It's Bluepoint. This company that just came out with Demon's Souls on the PS5 knows how to take a game, give it the modern spin, up to the graphics, fix the controls, the cameras, and give you the best experience on the current generation of hardware. Before that, they did Shadow of the Colossus. They did the God of War HD remasters. They did the Metal Gear Solid HD remasters. There's quite a few games, and over the last 10 years, this company's been doing it right, albeit quietly. But now, I'm bringing it out. I want to talk about a half a dozen or so games that I want to see Bluepoint get a hold of and give us a remake on the current hardware gen. So, let's talk about remakes and remasters that I want to see from Bluepoint Games. So honestly, this is more of a conversation today. That's why I'm chilling out in the old seat, hanging out, because there's a lot of games that have been absolute classics that deserve to be seen by modern gamers that never got a chance to play these. And when you look back at Bluepoint's library, which I'll put up here on screen, they have quietly been making remasters and remakes for a little while now. Like I said, they covered the Metal Gear Solid, they covered the God of War collection. Then they did Shadow of the Colossus, which really is a completely new game for the PS4. I mean, they did such a good job with that it really wasn't even just a remaster, it was a remake. And then recently with Demon's Souls, again, they took the concepts of the original, kept what everybody really loved about it, maybe fixed a few of the bugs, the flaws, the camera, some of the controls that were annoying. Maybe they were good at the time, but now they've updated them to be more in line with what modern gaming is all about. And I think Demon's Souls has been like the cherry on top of the sundae. Admittedly, I haven't played Demon's Souls on the PS5 yet because I've been playing other games, but I don't need to be playing the game firsthand to read the reviews, look at the Reddit boards, talk to my friends, and hear this is the way a remake should have been done. And because of that, it got me thinking, if they're doing this good of a job with these games, what franchise do I want to see them grab, take to the next level, and bring us some new games that we absolutely love from the current franchises? And the first one that came to mind is one they've already covered, and that's the Metal Gear Solid series. They already brought the Metal Gear Solid games into HD, so it wasn't a true remake, but they did have their Metal Gear Solid HD collection they brought, and I thought that was really cool. But why not bring a full-on remake of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and most likely 3, because those were on the PS1 and the PS2. And even if you haven't played those games, you can go back and play on the PS1, and it's still amazing. You can play it on the PS2, and it's still amazing. But really, I would love to see a 4K, completely redone game from Bluepoint from Metal Gear Solid. Since they've already covered the HD collection, I don't think it would be a huge issue for them to reach back out to Konami or whoever they need to and figure out how they can actually remake these games. Again, they all hold up even today. But to get them on the PS5, the Xbox Series X, the PC, and play them in 4K with updated visuals, updated controls, I would love to see that. Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, they're great games and they look fantastic. But even those were last gen. So to see a PS1 and PS2 version of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 created for this content that we have now, for this current generation of gaming that we have now, would absolutely be amazing, and I think it would be a huge seller. Maybe you start with 1, kind of like Resident Evil, and then you make 2, and then you make 3. Resident Evil has done it right. They have done a fantastic job, and I really think Bluepoint could get a hold of Metal Gear Solid, remake the first 3 games, and give everybody another way to play this amazing collection from a fantastic franchise. So, what do you think on the Metal Gear Solid? The next game up that I really want to talk about is one that I have not played, but I have read so many message boards, heard so many people, and I have a couple friends that have been begging me to play this game, and it's from the PlayStation 1, and it's Legends of Dragoon. Now, Legends of Dragoon is an RPG that is one of the most insane visual, can't go through the cutscenes, which is one of the biggest complaints, but it was a huge, fantastic RPG on the PS1, and one that, again, my friends have been clamoring for me to play for a long time. It's not that I don't want to, it's more just a matter of time, which I think is what a lot of us as gamers get stuck with. What game are we going to play? How much time do we have? I don't know exactly how long Legends of Dragoon is, but it's a really cool looking game. It had a fantastic review when it came out, and it's kind of been forgotten among modern gamers. You have a lot of the hardcore gamers that played it, that talk about it, that want to continue to play it, but honestly, besides that, Legends of Dragoon hasn't even got like a remaster. It hasn't got a bunch of big releases on current gen hardware. So really, if you didn't play it originally and have a copy of it, you've kind of never really heard of Legends of Dragoon. And for me, I can't even speak to it other than just the few people that I know that literally say, I've got to try to play this game and it deserves to be remade or remastered. So Legends of Dragoon is one for me that I think most definitely I would like to see, because I'd like to play it. It just might be a little tough to scratch up the old PlayStation, pop open that drive, and put in an old disc. I have a copy of it. I actually found it at a thrift shop for 10 bucks. So I have a full copy of Legends of Dragoon, and I've never even played it. So if they could remake that, I think it would be a huge seller for those RPG fans. Would it be fair to even make this list without mentioning Silent Hill? I made a video recently talking about a game that needs to get remade and a game that I want to see keep going, and I mentioned Silent Hill already, so I'm not going to beat this horse too much longer. But I would say that if there was a top 5 list of anybody on any planet who's played video games and they had a chance to play Silent Hill 1, 2, and I'll throw 3 in there, this might be one of the top 5 most requested remakes ever. And for good reason. Silent Hill 2 was absolutely incredible. So was Silent Hill 1, but Silent Hill 2 was the one that I actually played and beat and got through and just really got involved with. So I don't want to spend too much time with it, but I think with the way Resident Evil has gone, we've seen the success that they've had with that. So let's not discount Silent Hill. Let's give Bluepoint the opportunity to make a Silent Hill game and make a complete remake of the first game or the second game and the third game. I would be completely okay with that. And if you just want to do one, I'd be fine with that. I don't care. Let's get some more Silent Hill love, though. Maybe give them a whole new IP. If you want to just give them the IP, I'm good with that, too. They can make games, but typically they're big into remaster and remakes. So I think remaking Silent Hill would be a no-brainer at this point. My buddy Wes is going to like this next pick because we're talking about Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis was the Resident Evil with dinosaurs. It was survival horror, but you were trying to escape from dinosaurs, and it was scary. This was one that I thought was going to continue on just like Resident Evil, but they just kind of disappeared. I don't really even know what happened to it, but I don't think there's a better time than right now to be remaking games, and why not give Bluepoint the opportunity to jump on the Dino Crisis bandwagon. Now with that, since Resident Evil's had so much success, I have a feeling that they're probably going to be in-house if they made a sequel or a remake to Dino Crisis, but if they don't want to, hand it off to a third-party company, and let's get a Dino Crisis remake. Again, I can't reiterate enough that this game, when it came out, was scary. A lot of these survival horror games on the original 3D hardware don't quite hold up in terms of how scary they actually were when they came out. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 really were hide under your blanket, scream like a little kid, and turn the game off for a day or two. My friend in, was it 6th grade, 7th grade, literally said to me, I can't play this game at night, it's so scary. So why not remake Dino Crisis, especially with the graphics? Oh my gosh, the dinosaurs would be absolutely menacing. The sound effects, I mean, just everything about it would be absolutely awesome. So for me, I would love to see a Dino Crisis remake, and why not? I know people would love it, and old school gamers like myself would absolutely pick this thing up day one. Think I'm a Star Wars fan? Yeah, you got that right. Could you imagine if they remade Knights of the Old Republic? My mind would explode. I can't even explain to you the amount of love I have for this game. I don't play it every year. I don't play it actually every 5 years. I've played it once. It was enough. It was too epic for me to go back and play again. Everything about the game was incredible. And even now, it does hold up. I actually started playing Knights of the Old Republic 2 a couple years ago, and although I didn't like it as much, it was still a fantastic game. But what happened? Like, literally, BioWare made the first one, they handed off the reins to another company in the second one, and then it disappeared. We've had an MMO, but I want an actual single-player RPG in the vein of Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, is Star Wars not just everywhere right now? Like, literally, like, Disney can't even make enough content for us to give our money away fast enough. Literally, it's like, you're making a Star Wars show? Here, take my wallet. Oh, what? You're going to make an Obi-Wan video? You're going to make an Ahsoka Tano? The Mandalorian? I mean, literally, it's like, what? I'm nerd alert overload. So this would be the pristine time. Get it while the iron is hot. Bring us a Knights of the Old Republic remake. Now, the hard part with this would be, part of the fun in Knights of the Old Republic was that it had a ridiculous spoiler. I don't even want to say it, but most people know, but I'm not going to say it just in case you haven't played it. There is this humongous plot point that just twists everything around and just, you're just like, oh my god, that's amazing. It's incredible. One of the best twists in gaming history. And you've played it. If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. So if you've played it, the remake would be really hard to bring that part back, because obviously you can only get surprised once, unless you got short-term memory loss. Then it'd be really cool. You just get surprised every time you play the game. But remakes of Knights of the Republic 1 and 2 would be good, but why not just give them the reins to a new IP? I mean, they have other Star Wars games coming out. They're made by different companies. Let Bluepoint take a Knights of the Old Republic game and make it. That would be... it'd be too much. I'd have to quit YouTube for like a month or two because I'd be playing the game nonstop. It's that good. If you haven't played it, turn this video off and go play it. It's on like mobile. You can play it on, you can download it. It's on mobile. It's on PC. I mean, it's cheap. You can play it anywhere. How about one from Nintendo? A Nintendo exclusive that we're probably never going to see get a third party like Bluepoint holding on to, but why not remake The Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link? It's one of the Zelda games that really, people either love it or they hate it. But why not remake it and give us a reason to at least look at it? Because I haven't even attempted to play the game, but I really want to. But I'm also like, I don't know about that side-scrolling crap. But if they remade it, which we know already works because Link's Awakening has been a massive success and looks incredible, why not give Bluepoint the chance to make Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link? Is it going to happen? Probably not, because Nintendo does have their own in-house stuff for a lot of their stuff, especially their first title. I mean, Zelda, I don't see a lot of other companies work on their first party. And hey, a guy can dream, right? So I would love to see The Legend of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link be remade, because it's a game that many people have kind of written off and we're like, we're not going back to that. But why not? It might be really good. So I'm open to playing it. I'd just be more open to playing it like on the Nintendo Switch rather than the original NES. Just because. Just because. And I'm going to close this out with another kind of horror game. But it doesn't deserve to die on the PS3, the Xbox 360 gen. It deserves to come back, and that's Dead Space. Now, Dead Space is a game that you probably played if you're into horror games, because it wasn't that long ago. But if you didn't play it, you might have a hard time jumping back 2 console generations now and playing it. Especially because the backlog of current gaming is just insane, that Dead Space might get lost in the shuffle, but it really shouldn't. You want to talk about a crazy, fun, plot twist, scary, mind-menacing, thrilling game? Dead Space has a lot of those bases covered, and frankly, it still looks good. But we're remaking games on the PS3 already. We're remastering games on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 already. So why not make a new Dead Space game? The 2 console generations don't seem like much, but PS3 to PS5, Xbox 360 to Xbox Series X, there is a huge jump in hardware. And the stuff they can do with all the ray tracing and the crazy numbers, the 120 hertz, 60 frames a second, 120 frames a second, all that crap that really doesn't mean a lot to me. But when you put a picture and it says, blurry, and then it says HD, and then it says, oh my god, Super HD, I can tell the difference there. And the PS3 and the Xbox 360, for as good as they still look, compared to the newer games, they don't look as good. And looks aren't everything. Gameplay is a lot, and Dead Space still holds up. But hey, why not make a Dead Space remake? There's a few of them, but you gotta start with 1, right? I mean, you wouldn't jump into 3, would you? I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna round out the old list. Dead Space. Do it. Bluepoint, get on point. A few games that I want to see remade from specifically Bluepoint. Not that I don't trust other companies, but Bluepoint knows how to get stuff done. And they know how to take what we like about all these games, what we don't like, mash them up together, put them in the oven, and give us a perfectly baked product. That's what I like about Bluepoint. They had done excellent job with all of the games as far as I'm concerned, and I think that they deserve even more credit than they're getting, and they deserve more and more titles. If you're a company that has a fantastic game and you're like, we don't want to do it in-house, we really want to do a remake, hand it to Bluepoint. Now, I don't know how the profit works. I don't know how you guys share that. I don't know how any of that crap works, but I'm guessing if you made a game and you let someone else remake it, you probably get a portion of the sales. But hey, don't quote me on that. So guys, in the comments below, what games would you like to see remade, remastered, and did you know Bluepoint has a pretty good sized library of games? I sure as heck didn't. I knew they did Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls. I did not realize they had quite a few others that were pretty good hits on these previous console generations. Alright, as always, thanks for hanging out with me. Keep trolling, keep rolling. We'll see you next video.